Good morning.
We're live. We're live.
Yeah, and they are also like queuing up outside the factory to get paid or something up here.
Well, man, Christopher, great background, man. I didn't know Discord had this power. I have to get into it. Welcome to the community, the next community call. Let's just dive right into it. So much praise to be dished. I want to praise Tam especially for the ARR, the action recap. I don't know what the acronym. I forget what it was. Maybe it was AARP. Whatever it was like really cool to have like a deep dive into a difficult decision that was made, a little rushed, and really do a recap on it so we can improve. And I think we are improving. So I want to also just praise Olivia for really sticking home with like, hey, we should learn from this mistake and figure out how to improve it for the decision around when do we actually end the Param debates. So that's super cool, and I love that development. I also want to give major praise to Pedro, Vitor, Fabio, and Nuggin for continuing to grind on the dashboard and get the latest up. I also have to give so much praise to Sam and Paulo for all the work that they did in Common Swarm this week. Bradley as well to manage as project manager, just to get everything done. Major progress, and I can't wait to present it to everyone. I always want to just praise to Zep for recording and doing all the behind the scenes work that he never ends with. And with that, I'll pass it to Christopher.
Thanks. I have a long list. I'll try to speak quickly. I'd like to praise Livy for writing a great rewards workgroup manifest, and I'd like to praise Mitch for taking the lead on setting up the reward board and planning all the preparations for the first quant coming up. Viva V for continuing to dig deeper into the Discord APIs and build fantastic bots. HZ for setting up the One Hive Pollen bot for us. Grayal for doing behind the scenes stuff like tech foundation stuff, testing, database migrations, and that kind of appreciated stuff. Nebs for pushing code before the last workgroup meeting that allowed us to do a demo. Rudolph for working 16 hours a day on his day job and still contributing. And Nugget MS and Octopus for their analysis dashboard. Thanks. And I'll pass it to Edu.
Thank you. I want to dish praise to Aloysius for they bring them so many people to our server and guide them through our server. I want to dish praise to Delightful Abyss, Edgar Webb, Jacques Chile, John V, Nico Sam, Padding LA, Zapote, Sonhan, Sadok7, Eve, and Terexitarius for joining their orientation call and for engaging for during an hour that call last. I want to dish praise to As Laser for the new orientation deck. I want to dish praise to Tam for taking time to be present in her situation. I want to dish praise to Christopher, of course, for being here and for that amazing background. And I will pass it on to Livy.
Wasn't done with my list. Okay. I praise Mitch and Juanca and myself for hacking on the Ostrom's proposal last night. Praise Tam for being great at prioritizing work and family and being fully present wherever she is. Praise Nuggin for his thoughtful inquiry. Praise Christopher for jumping in here today to start our new working group. And I praise Juanca for the Param party he just gave. Praise. My God, I can't work without a list anymore. But I praise Griff for the work he did yesterday on giving great ideas on the spot for how to move forward with the time constraints on the proposal making we're having. And I will pass to Acid Laser.
Thanks, Livia. So I want to praise to to Juanca, Griff, Lauren, Chewy, and Mitch for all their contributions to the Param's parties. And Manu for updating the TEC Gitcoin grants. Chewy for all the work he's doing, the team DAO. Edu for being an amazing host at Comunitas and Orientation. Chewy, Zero, Juanca, Mon their contributions at Twitter and Septi for always be there. And I'll pass it to Septi.
Thank you, Lizard. Yeah, I want to give praise to everyone that contributes to improve the TEC Casino. Griff, Juan, Lauren, Mitch, Nagen. Probably missed someone, but yeah, thank you. Like Nate, of course. Yeah, this is like I think this is like what collaborative means, like working together and advancing every proposal. I want to give praise to Livia and Griff for nailing the metrics for when to upgrade to the commons upgrade, and I want to give praise to Tam for like there was some weirdness when this decision and for taking gathering all together and discuss it. That gives very good vibes, and actually this praise to all the stewards because joining that meeting. I'll pass it to Nagen.
Hey, yeah. Well, first I want to give major praise to Pedro for just rocking it with the dashboard the whole time. He's amazing. Also Vitor for jumping right in. Of course, Griff, Lauren, Mitch for all the work in Params. Sam, Paul, and Bradley for carrying the common swarm forward. Then Christopher for his organizational and leadership in the whole rewards stuff. And of course, Livia, Mitch, Rudolf, Nebs, Grayaldis, Mateo. There's so much stuff happening. It's going forward greatly. Also MS and Octopus for the analysis stuff. And then I also want to praise Metaverde and Billy Jitsu for the great Solidity learning groups sessions that they've been making. And yeah, I'll pass it to Edu.
I already went, but I will pass it on to Billy Jitsu. If not, I will pass it on to Laura.
Thanks, Edu. Okay, I want to praise Mitch for couchside chats and discussing plans for future Param parties and organization. I want to praise Tam for coming in with all kinds of great management resources, making us reflect on our decisions, and all of her great time management skills. I want to praise Griff for submitting this awesome proposal, $1 million Gambit Goldilocks Arashini Crazy Town. I love it. I think it's great. I want to praise Zep for coming to all the calls. Whenever I see he's in there, I'm always like, oh, phew, the call is recorded, and that just brings me a sense of peace. Thank you so much, Septi. I want to praise Wonka, Septi, Mitch, and Griff for presenting great params in the Stewards debate call, and I want to praise Nate and Tam and Chewy and Livia and everyone else who was there asking questions and participating. I want to praise Acid Laser for distributing the Param party POAPs. I want to praise ViViV for giving a lot of Discord support and even coming and helping give us. I want to praise Rochelle for being on top of payments, in the whole ecosystem. I want to praise Eduardo for jumping into my lonely params party to cheer me up. And I want to praise Fabio, Vitor, and Pedro for crushing through finalizing the dashboard and then coming helping give it. And I'll pass it to Pop.
Pab, are you there? Do you have any praise that you want to dish to anyone? Maybe Pab. Well, let's toss it over to Ryder.
I'll pass, thanks.
I can take it.
Nice. Then let's start with Wonka.
Okay, I would like to praise Griff for being all over with a great energy. I would like to praise Durgadas for all the wisdom that he shares with his comments. I would like to praise Acid Laser and Chewy because of the hard work they're doing in comms. I would like to praise Ryder because she's contributing a lot in the community, and it's great to have her here. I would like to praise Stefano and Aloysius for helping in some gravity coordination stuff, and I like that we now have a new team to work on coordination. I would also like to praise Morgan and lean because they are experienced mediators that are also being part of Gravity. I would also like to praise Mitch for having come to Colombia and making an excellent pork that I am still eating. Livia for all the support that she gives in the community. Innovator 3 also for offering to make some transcripts of the Graviton training. Septi for all the recordings that he does, and Mount Manu for helping us schedule a call with Gitcoin. And I will pass it to Chuy. Did you go?
Yeah, thank you, Juanca. Okay, this is a lot. Mount Manu and Acid Laser for finishing the Gitcoin Grants Round 12 updates just in time. This is superhero stuff. Christopher, BYB, Livy, Mitch, and Nuggan for all the work in the rewards working group. Livy and Tam for always making us reflect and learn from our community decisions. Lauren for hosting an amazing debate. Edu and Tam for all the efforts in onboarding and the great results. Sam and Paulo for working so hard around the augmented bonding curve. Aloysius and Edgar Web3 for spreading the word about TEC among amazing people. Escanore for his valuable input in the translations team. Zero for his work on Twitter and taking on the analytics corner. Septi, Mitch, Juanca, and Lauren for presenting mind-blowing proposals that educate us all. And Griff, Jeff, Simon, Sean, and Jessica for a great AMA on bonding curves. I'll pass it to SpaghettiOs.
Oh man, I hope SpaghettiOs. Do you want to play the praise game? I really love your handle, by the way. It's been a long time. No? Okay.
Sorry
I'll,
about that.
oh yeah, there you go.
Man. So, hey, how's it going?
Great. Now.
Try to rush to get ready for a COVID test for work. So, new world we live in. How's everyone doing? I'm stoked to be here. I actually showed up because I heard Griff on a Bankless podcast, and it was just cool energy. And now, just from being in here for a couple of minutes, it's like everybody is like most genuine, nice group of people I've ever interacted with. So it's pretty cool. So I'm just glad to be here and kind of see what's going on, and hopefully I can find a way to contribute.
Nice. Thanks so much for coming, SpaghettiOs, and thanks for being bold and unmuting and sticking your neck out there to introduce yourself. And I'll pass it for you though. I'll pass it to Craig.
Hey Griff, how's it going? Can you hear me? Lucky. Anyways, yeah, I'm only here to say I'm driving and I have no praise. Thank you though for hosting, and pass it for me. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Craig. I'll throw it to Tam.
I have a long list too. So I want to praise my daughters for being such excellent partners in this life adventure and having such good humors and being so easy to homeschool and be in isolation with for so many days. Aloysius and Chewy for their indefatigable support of bringing in so many new and talented people. Lauren for hosting the Param debate at the Steward Council today and for being such a master of the Param's party. Gideon for articulating so beautifully the TEC onboarding experience. Uncle Bim Bim, I have so much respect for you and appreciation for the ideas you're sharing and how you naturally grasp onto the branding elements of any topic, even one as complex and foreign as the ABC. Taxel for delivering on the ABCY article. Eduardo for carrying the torch and providing so much warmth in our community, and then for being bold and courageous and venturing out into cool new things. Merel Verde for leading the Crypto Zombie course in the TEC Lab. She's such a powerhouse. Mitch for voicing reservations and his willingness to disagree, and all the stewards for the same. Constructive disagreement is our secret sauce. And the rest I'll drop in the praise channel.
And I can pass it for you. Billy, nice to see your face. Do you want to take it for some praise? Oh no, the mute isn't working. Give me a chance. Okay, I'll go. Yeah, we'll work on it. Let's throw it to Burnout. What do you think, Burnout? Do you have any praise to dish? No? Okay, I'll let you
I'm
off
just
on this.
joining. I just joined the call. Sorry, it's my first time. It's nice to be here. I just want to learn more about the community. Thanks.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for joining us for now. Pleasure to have you here. How about Billy? Did you get it sorted?
This is the true test. Can you guys hear me now? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really, I'm just praising TEC. You guys are a vibe, man. I haven't been as busy. Well, I've been busy, so I haven't been as active as I want to be. But cool vibes, man. Praise to you guys. That's it.
Thanks so much, Billy. That's great. And how about Delightful Abyss? Do you have any praise to dish?
Hey everybody. I'm relatively new as well, so I don't have a ton, but I'd love to dish praise to Edu for running an awesome orientation yesterday and for just being like the most warm and welcoming and like answering my questions and kind of orienting me in some good directions. And I'd also like to dish praise for Zodoc7 for a wonderful conversation about public goods after the orientation yesterday. I really enjoyed our conversation. It got me really excited, and just everybody in this community so far. I just like feel really good vibes from everybody, and I'm really excited to contribute. So.
Griff, can I jump in and give some praise now?
Yeah.
Thanks. I passed earlier. Now I'm feeling the vibe. Praise Livia for her contributions to the Governance Research Lab. It's really nice seeing someone in there representing TEC. Praise Zeptimus is a duplicate, but also for the recordings and that kind of like security of knowing that he's there. Praise Mitch for getting us started with calling all quantifiers and for asking great questions. And thanks Christopher for being so timely in answering technical questions that sometimes he's the only knowledge keeper of. And praise Aloysius for like buffing up TEC and other communities with their onboarding and super community vibes. And gosh, like I feel like praise Billy for showing up and like wanting to give more time and like really noticing the vibe of the TEC and wanting to contribute. And I wish I had like more like newcomers in mind that I could also give praise to for that same vibe. Like I appreciate people showing up when they can to just learn more and follow that like positive energy. Check.
Totally. And I want to give Pab one more chance. Pab and I shared some chocolate in an RV once, and it was fantastic. I know he's got some praise to give. Pab, yeah.
Sorry. I had the PC muted. I was taking care of some home stuff, but now I'm listening to you all. Sorry. Well, I'd like to give praise to all of the people who have been hosting the Param parties and the Param debates, as well as to Griff and Simon. And I don't know who else might have participated in the augmented bonding curve call thing, which I kind of want to watch the recording of. I don't know if that's uploaded yet, by the way. I think that's it right now. I can't think of much other stuff. I haven't been as active as I'd like, but I'm here to learn as much as I can. Thanks. Should I pass it to someone, or has everyone already praised each other?
We are complete. As far as I can tell, if I miss somebody, feel free to speak up. I'm not the perfect host on the praise stuff. It's a challenge to get you all in. But welcome. I think we're good, and welcome to Community Call 58. And as you know, as many of you know, praise is not just a Thursday fun time in the call thing. It's all the time. You can praise in any Discord channel, !praise, and then somebody's handle, and then what they did that deserved some praise. It's a great way to raise the vibes, and also people get rewarded, as you'll see as there's a new working group in town. So. But we'll talk about that later. If you don't have praise powers, feel free to ask any steward or pretty much anybody around, and just ping somebody who you think might know how to get praise powers, and they'll hook you up. And also, don't forget, we raised 1.5 million, and we have a DAO sitting there right now, to about 2 million tokens out there, $1.5 million sitting in that DAO, and we're gonna design the economy together. So that's the the short-term goal that we're working on. If you think that this community call can improve, we have a survey to make it better, and we're still collecting feedback on it. Also, to keep this community like top notch, we have Gravity. It's like this behind the scenes force that's always working, and you almost forget about it, but it's there. It's pulling us all together and bringing us stronger as a community. If you see any friction between anybody, or you feel any friction with somebody, you can either DM the active Gravitons in Discord. You'll see them there, and you can just say, hey, you know, somebody got someone's gender wrong, someone's got someone's name wrong, or there's this thing that's happening that makes me feel uncomfortable. Yeah, I'd just like to talk to you about it. And they're there for you. They're the behind the scenes force that keeps our community strong. But if you don't want to talk to someone, or you want to make an anonymous report, you can also use our type form, which is linked here. And it's really the secret sauce that makes, not only do we have the high vibes, but we have the foundation to deal with conflict, and Gravity makes that possible. The other thing that keeps us strong as a community is advice process. Anytime there's a big decision, we need to discuss with the people who will be affected by that decision and the experts on the topic before making the decision final. And really, before the decision is even decided. That's the best way to do it. And so these are the tools that we use to keep our community strong and together, so that we can actually complete our vision. The TEC's vision is to enable the creation of ethical, safe, resilient, and diverse economic systems to benefit societies around the world. This is what we're here to do, and the steward of stewards is coordinating everybody so that we can do it successfully. So I have to pass it. We can start the working group session, and of course, Tam, you can kick us off.
Cool, awesome. So we started Sprint 23, and between now and December 9th, we will be working on Sprint 23. I'll just bring up the screen. You can always jump in on the Sprint board and see what we're up to. I think I'm sharing it now with this link here. We have some dates. SoftGov, Olivia will talk more about it when she gives the update on SoftGov. The most important thing is that there's now more time to learn. There's more time to use the dashboard, to have a deeper and deeper and deeper understanding of what impact each of the decisions make. And it's really exciting that we have more time to do this, because I personally needed more time, and a lot of our community also wanted more time to be able to get to understand the parameters better. When does the Stewards Working Group meet? On the top right are all their dates. Everything's also in the TEC calendar. Feel free to hop into any of the Stewards Working Groups, any of our sprint plannings or retrospective, or our weekly or council meeting. And on the next slide, the Stewards Working Group proposal is on the forum. This is the funding proposal for the Stewards Working Group. And there's no feedback yet, which is okay. But if there's something that you think we could do better, or maybe we should take into consideration, please do hop onto the forum and add some comments there. So talking about the Stewards Council today, which I guess is here, we did two things. Chewy presented his thinking around supporting XDAO-Gnosis merger and something called XDAO. We had some initial conversations about it, and we'll continue conversations about what it means for the TEC to commit or support to this kind of collaboration. And then Lauren presented the Param parties, hosted a Param party debate, which was super interesting. I'd like to just show you what that looks like. So Griff proposed the $1 gamut for $1 million Goldilocks Faster Originy. And if you think it's easy to say these titles, it's not. Juanca presented Ostrom's $1 million baby. And when I say presented, they really advocated for each of these and explained every decision and why they made it. And these debates are really amazing to attend, because you get some really thoughtful insight into why these decisions are made. Mitch probably won the creativity and naming with the Bolsheviks Gambit Fork for Revolutionary Opening. And I'm a bit of a gambler, so I prefer Zepti Nephews title, TEC Casino. So these are all really, really cool and really fun to listen to. Really knowledgeable and experienced Param experts present their proposals and why they want people to vote for them. On the Stewards' mind this week, this is our Stewards' weekly agenda. We usually start with a temperature check. We all go around and see how we're feeling, how our working group is feeling, how we feel about the community. And we had we had some stewards express their reservation about the method in which a vote was taken at the end of the sprint retrospective last week. And so we really sort of leaned into it and tried to understand maybe what happened and what we could do better. So we used an after action review format, and which really focuses on 4 main questions. It's not about blaming, it's not about success or failure. It's really about investigating and understanding, and also understanding multiple points of view. No one has the right answer, no one has all the information, and everyone's perspective is valid and contributes to our collective understanding. So we looked at what we expected to happen out of extending a timeline for the Commons Param voting, what actually happened, which was different than what we expected to happen, and then the things that went well, so the advantages, and then the things that we could improve and how. And I think Livia will speak a little bit more about the ideas for contingency planning around our dates. I also want to say the next Token Engineering Academy Introduction to Token Engineering is less than 2 weeks. If you have not taken this course, go sign up for it now. And what's going on? So this is my favorite forum post every week. Mount Manu takes this call and consolidates all of the information that the working groups have shared into one single forum post that anyone can read. And the last thing I want to say is if you want to help TEC right now during this call, go find your favorite tweet and retweet it. I feel like the further we can get out, the more people will be interested in the amazing things we're doing here. And with that, I will pass to Livia and Sofgov. I'm sorry, I'm going to pass to Wonka and Gravity.
Thanks, Tam. Yeah, I am having internet issues. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. After this call in Gravity, we are going to have the NBC Book Club, and we will be going over chapter number 10 of the Nonviolent Communication book by Marshall Rosenberg. I really like this chapter because sometimes when we hear NVC, we tend to think that it's a passive way to process feelings, and that anger has no like space. Chapter, he talks about how to express anger fully, and how can we see anger as like a alarm, like an alarm to realize that we have a need that isn't being met, and that we need to think of a way on how to meet the needs that are triggering that feelings. So it's a very interesting chapter, and I invite you all to join the DAO Book Club server and that call that starts right after this call, because we will be discussing about the strategies on how to express anger and how to process anger into the understanding of our own feelings and needs. So yeah, expressing and processing anger is also a way to have nonviolent communication. On the other side, the Gravity weekly coordination calls are back. We will be meeting on Tuesdays after SoftGov, and the second Graviton, the second generation of Gravitons will be announced shortly. We've been taking some time on it, but it will be announced shortly. And the other thing that I would also like to say in this call is that we have a new Gitcoin grant, and you can support us. Septimus was our first donor, so it's great to have the support from the community. And yeah, we are hoping to make this project emerge from the TEC and become sustainable in a long term. So yeah, that's it from Gravity, and I will pass to Common Swarm.
Thank you, Wonka, and thank you, Livia, for sharing screen for me. I sneezed and Discord just exploded. I don't know what happened. But yeah, so Common Swarm, we actually meet in OneHive over in the OneHive Discord because we're actually funded by OneHive. Wouldn't you know that OneHive actually built the Common TEC behind the scenes? So that's super cool. OneHive with partnership with the Common Stack, and this is we're almost done. It's amazing. We have the last check of the ABC audit revisions. We made the Gardens front end work. We have the EVM CRISPR. We actually did our own internal demo of the full Commons upgrade. So the Garden made the Commons upgrade vote and passed it. So the way the deployment will work is that we will deploy a normal Garden that OneHive built, right? They have a Garden deployment system that we'll just use to deploy a Garden. And then we make this Commons upgrade vote into that Garden. So that actually adds the bonding curve and turns off the issuance module, which is what Gardens usually have instead of the bonding curve. And then we will actually, once that is all set up and parameterized according to the parameters that are chosen by the community, then we will go to the hatch DAO and we'll make a Commons upgrade vote in the hatch DAO. And that will actually move the funds from the hatch DAO into the Garden, which is going to be the Commons, and it'll split the funds between the augmented bonding curve and the common pool as is designed, and it will also mint the token TEC token for all the hatchers. So every hatcher right now has a TECH token, and then they'll end up with a TEC token. So we did all that. It all worked after a couple tries, and so the internal demo is complete. And if you want to see the what it'll look like to interact with the bonding curve, that is up. And also, if you want to see what it will look like to voting conviction voting, that is also up. And you can check them out in these links. We're going to try to get the community demo out so everyone can play with it. There are a few small fixes that we need to do I showed this off last week, the actual interaction with the bonding curve. There are a few small fixes that we need to do in the Garden to make everything work. Like right now it's showing wrapped X die, but we want it to show T die, test die, and so that we can really have like $1.5 million and have everything set up the right way. So assuming that we don't run into any snags, we'll have a community demo next week. Maybe the week after. That community demo coming soon. But either way, major progress. So much work is finally culminating into this moment. So much praise goes to Sam and Paulo for really putting their heads down and making this happen. Also to Brett for auditing the ABC. And there's no one better who could have done it. So it's really a great community work. And with that, I'll pass it to SoftGov. Olivia.
Thanks, Griff. Yeah, so in SoftGov, we have the laser tag vote on Snapshot that was approved last week with 20 votes. And it's really cool to see the participation every time we have a vote. These votes have been promoted, but not like crazily promoted. Sorry, I don't know why this is not working. Maybe I have too many tabs. But anyways, yeah, the laser tag vote was approved with 20 votes. It's great to see all this participation. And this was the first time that quadratic ranked choice voting was ever used. And Griff made a post about it, and you can check it out, some more details. But this is very exciting that we are implementing quadratic voting in all our snapshot votes. And we're looking into ways to continue to make sense with that, even after the Commons upgrade by having maybe a POAP that is given by praise. But those are some ideas that I'll not get so much into, but we want to continue using quadratic voting and quadratic ranked choice voting on Snapshot. And also this week, we worked on this mural board that we started last week with a brainstorming of how were Ostrom's principles implemented in the TEC. And now every week in SoftGov, we'll look into one of the principles and have more of a Zoom perspective on how this has been working, what are some metrics for success. So this week we had a really cool session on the boundaries, and we defined a few metrics. We have to continue working on it, but for example, the metrics for the bonding curve as a boundary could be the price of the market doesn't get out of the exit and entry attribute for X amount of time, arbitrage is happening, buy in and sell is happening at the bonding curve instead of secondary markets, or not instead, but combined with the secondary markets in a way that it's beneficial for us. So there are some other, a lot of other metrics and examples of implementation that we've been using. And next week, we're going to look into congruence between appropriation and provision. That's mostly like the rules and norms that we've been building for this community to be sustainable. So if you're interested in that, come join us next Tuesday. And we'll also have a Param party for SoftGov. So we did this proposal last night of Ostrom $1 million baby, and how Ostrom's principles could be used for designing the economy. So Mitch will host a Param party in SoftGov for us to look more into how SoftGov and the dashboard can be combined. And this is what Tam was mentioning. So updating the dates for the Commons upgrade. So one of the things that came up in our call yesterday was, well, what was the intention for us to wanting to delay the vote in the first place? And the intention was because there was not so many quality proposals. So should the metric be time if what we really want is quality proposals? So we thought, what if the new metric is having quality proposals, and how could we measure that? So Griff suggested that if we have at least 5 proposals that have people advocating for them, like super excited about them and thinking that they are a great option for the TEC economy, then we could move forward. And also having the Stewards working group validating that, knowing that all the working groups are aligned with the vision. We're still in advice process there, but the idea is that until December 16th, we'll have this evaluation. Like, do we have these 5 proposals that feel good to move forward with? And then if we do, we can continue following these dates. If not, then we can reassess this and think, what do we need for this quality to be achieved? And be more worried about quality, since we're putting so much effort in designing a great economy for the TEC. And the last thing I want to share is this polycentric governance framework. We've been talking a lot about this. Is like a long iterative process for having a governance framework for the TEC. And I think we finally got to a point that feels steady enough. We've been using these processes for a while. They've been working. Most of these patterns emerged naturally, and we're just capturing them and trying to make sense of them in a wholesome overview. So this is it, the table of content with advice process being broken down into 3 types of advice process: conviction voting for financial decisions, TAO voting for technical decisions, snapshot mostly for cultural decisions, but with 3 use cases, and token log for crowd proposal making or curating the collective intelligence. So you can see details for each one of this decision-making processes in here. And that's it for SoftGov, and I'll pass to Edu with Comunitas.
Thank you, Levi. So the Comunitas working group meets every Monday on the weekly call, weekly sync, 8 p.m. CET, 2 p.m. EST. We held also 2 other calls, orientation that happens on Wednesdays on 6 p.m. CET and 9 a.m. PST, and the TEC Lounge on Fridays, 5 p.m. CET. And the TEC Lounge is a space that everyone is welcome, is to connect as a community, as individuals. What movie did you watch last week? What was the last TV show that you watched? What did you heard in the news? Whatever you feel like sharing, it's okay. It's a safe space to share and connect. And basically, on the updates for this week, we are still testing out updates on our new sort of change server. The menus changed last week, and for example, we found out this week that general channel was close to messages, so we had a mistake there. So we fixed it. So if you found these kind of things, please let us know so we can fix it immediately. Then we finished the document, the guide for guides. So if any of the people here present want to be part of this process of onboarding new members to the community, this is a document that we created to sort of be that guide for people who want to help on the onboarding. And please write me if you are interested on doing so. And we also finished the orientation deck. Praise to As the Laser for this. And basically, orientation deck, it's a PDF that has all the clickables and the things that are necessary for someone who is new in the community, and even for someone who is not new in the community. And it's a document that we shared the screen during the orientation call, and we are testing out. This was the first week we tried it out, and it worked out quite well. So we will keep improving it as we go. And then we also have deployment of the new survey bot, and I will pass it on to Vivi to explain what's going on with the survey bot.
All right, so this survey bot is different from what your usual, like the original version was. This has an options choice, which involves emojis. So that there's a small technical delay that occurs while the bot is reacting with emojis. I'll just show it to everyone, just to be clear. So I think that might be a blocker when onboarding people. Just give me a second. Can you all see this? Is this visible?
It's your Discord. Yeah.
Right. So say something us get this prompt. This is welcome to the TC. It would be great if you could share some more info with us by filling a small form. To start filling it, interact with this icon. So the first question, and there's a small delay when the bot is reacting with these emojis. So while it's reacting, if you click on any emoji, it won't register it. You'll have to wait for all of them to get sent here. So that's a small issue that might pop up, but this might be mitigated in a later version in which we might replace this with buttons instead of emojis. So we'll keep you posted about that. And just all the new questions, just so that we can review what the new questions are. What would you like to be addressed? What names and pronouns would you like to use? And why did you come to the TEC? Which is we have made some buckets for people to choose from, but if there's more things that they'd like to add or give context to, there's this option called Other that gives them more choice. They can write down things if they select that. Just give me a second. So this one, yeah, you could enter some more text over here. So the rest like functions like normal. So if you like go to orientation data, all of this data will be displayed over there, right here. Now this isn't very scalable, but this data can be streamlined into a spreadsheet or Notion or HubSpot, depending on which direction we go, which would be a great onboarding tool. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you so much, Vi. So yeah, this is I think a little more technical than usual on the onboarding process, but I think this is a really nice combination, and Vi is a wizard of this process, and we will use later on this data to provide a better support on orientation and better support on onboarding. And the idea is that this journey will have different iterations, will be improving the process as we go. That's pretty much all for this week, and I will pass it on to Omega.
So basically, we're killing it on Discord. IVP, this is amazing. So let me also share my screen, or try at least. Let's see if this week I have more luck. Are you seeing my screen? So basically, last week we actually wanted to already discuss about, how do we want to actually distribute funds that we have for the working group. But then literally during that time, we realized, well, before we even go there, we really need to set up the processes that actually help us self-organize around the two Omega initiatives. And especially with the TEC Consilience library, we had the notion, but it really needs more structuring of tasks. Who are the people who are going to take on those tasks? So we worked on that, and it's getting along. The TE ethics participatory research, well, that processizing for that was actually straightforward once I sat down, because we've been working on this basically the last, well, what is it? 2 months, right? We had this focus group on ethical dilemmas. That means really, I think we were 15 token engineers, or 10 and 5 from the Token Engineers Commons from this working group. Then we had multiple sessions on analyzing actually what this focus group shared with us from their experience in such, well, token engineering ethical dilemmas. And then we also worked those ethical principles, these ones, out through analyzing what practicing token engineers shared in that focus group. So like there are just multiple and different and very different worldviews always participating in the same token economy. How do you can actually you will never be able to make it right for everyone, but how do you deal with these worldviews? And it's about co-creation and participation and the ability to deal and host those multiple worldviews, find the grain of truth, and as you can see, there are more such principles, the dynamics, beware of social engineering, enable informed participation. And basically throughout those sessions, we, from the active participants on the Omega working group, literally people self-select because they care about these topics and have basically background or worked on trying to find and figure solutions, or literally curate models that helps in such complex dynamic environment in decision making. And we put together basically practice sessions designed over the course of 2 months, and we're literally almost there. So you can have a look in this document. Currently we are working, or I put together the funding proposals from all the sessions that we have, how this would work, how we're going to basically offer it, because in vision and mission, it's all about, or not all about, but one aspect that we keep repeating is that it's token engineering should be based on ethical principles, but it's very, very hard if you're a token engineer out in the trenches, if you don't actually have practices. And this is what this initiative will provide. As said, that was the focus of the past month, so it had more flesh that we could just put things together. And now the group is focusing on the TE Consilience library. Matt set up the Notion and take lead, and others, Durgadas, Manu, all of us, Nick, we're supporting them, and it's tough, but it's working out all right. That people really take on the lead and contribute, and all of us really see the value in these two initiatives that we're offering to the community, and co-creating through focus groups and so on, and want to reach out to more token engineers. Please join the sessions. Next week, we're going to have a special party. Thanks to Septimus, who's going to host a Param party at Omega. And please invite your friends. All of you who are active in Omega would be dropping by anyways. And let's see how a token economy can be parameterized. What are the options? Septimus shared some insights, what we need in the chat, so you can drop by and learn more what's expecting us next week. And with that, I can give it up for Sean, who is not there, I think.
Yeah, I think I can take it for labs. Thank you so much, Shamim.
Okay.
Nice, interesting work going on in Omega. Which I'm going to be extremely quick about this because we're running short on time. But there are so many token engineering learning opportunities almost every day of the week. So please just check out the slides. If you want to learn how to use CAD or Token Spice, or you want to dive into reward system research or learn Solidity, there's so many learning opportunities. Like, just dive into the slides or check out the calendar and dive into it. But with that, I'll pass it to Chewy for comms.
Thank you, Griff. We meet every Tuesday in the comms working group call. And some of the updates that we've been working on is we are promoting right now Param's parties and debates. We are doing a lot of creative onboarding. So if you are a project manager, graphic designer, a social media manager, copywriter, or an animator, or just have any experience in ad agencies, ping us after you've gone through orientation, because we need your help. We are also putting together different teams, which are going to be different units that are going to provide communication services for token engineering related projects. So these are going to be posting bounties really soon. So keep close to the community. And with that, I'll pass it to Septi in transparency.
Thanks, Chewy. Yeah, on transparency, we meet every other week on Monday, 5 p.m. CT. And actually, next week, we have a transparency call that we are going to transform it in a transparency also Param party. So, yeah, come and join. Let's build some good Params. And yeah, regarding me and I are almost like done with this audit and funding proposal. We're only missing, we need a bounty for setting up Dashlane, and we're talking with Fabio. And yeah, actually, like the real fun and transparency starts when we have the token. So yeah, we're pretty much, we're really excited for that. And yeah, this is almost done. Like, we just need to get the bounty for the, like the transparency audit report. We're trying to get it more clarified after time feedback, and the intention is like Fabio understands it well, so he can know how to set up Dash, do analytics, and yeah, that's it. I'll pass it to Params. Legal, sorry.
Either way, it's coming to me. Ivy's holding down legal for us, but there isn't so much action. We always need legal experts, and we're working on some terms and conditions for the conviction voting. I think it says ABC here. Oh yeah, but that's pretty much done, and we're looking at the conviction voting terms and conditions. And for params, obviously this was a huge working group. I think we're in our last week of needing to do anything on this dashboard other than maintenance in case something breaks or something. But a lot of people helped to make this a reality, but a special shout out to Pedro, Vitor, Mitch, and Nugget. And I want to give extra shout out to Pedro, who's really just like pulling everybody forward. I don't know if he sleeps because he says he only works 30 hours a week on this, but I don't believe it, man. He is a machine. So major props to Pedro. If you see him, he's done good. He's done good. And I really want to show off a couple of the last big feature upgrades on the dashboard that are coming soon. The first one that I'll show is that we're adding a smaller time frame for conviction voting, so you can see, can you pass a proposal while someone's sleeping? Is that possible? Maybe you want it. Can you pass a proposal in a day? Yeah, and so adding these shorter time frames to give some perspective. And also we drastically simplified the bonding curve module to get rid of all the extra stuff that no one was using. And so you just have this one button. How cool is that? And the zoom. Major shout out to Nugget on making the zoom a reality. But you can zoom in on the different steps. So it's super cool. Oh no. I didn't want it to have to load. It takes a long time to load when you have a lot of steps. Oh no. Am I still there? Oh, good.
We hear you.
Okay, cool. My computer apparently can't handle the ABC. But also we added these like nice buy and sell options and all sorts of cool stuff. So we're basically, once this passes QA, we're done on major updates. There's like 2 or 3 small issues that we're managing, and it's done. So that's super cool. And yeah, so definitely go to the Param parties. There's lots of events. So join a party. There's a calendar here, or you can find the calendar on the dashboard. Also, the debates have started, so that's really fun. If you want to host, feel free to DM me, and I'll set it up. And with that, I'll pass it to Christopher for reward system. And we're going to have to go along a little bit. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, I'll
Go
try
for it,
to
Christopher.
keep it short. But the short story is that a new.
Could you hear me at all?
Yeah, and you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
We hear you.
Yeah, we hear you.
A new working group has been born. The rewards working group, it has sort of lived in the shadow of SoftGov for a long time, but now so much work has been put into that, so now it's the right time to let it live on its own terms. And we meet every week on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock CET. Livy will be steward, and I take on the role as a work group lead for now, while we're sort of in the build-up phase. Do you see any slides, or should I share my screen? Yes, I'll share my screen then. Okay. The TEC reward system, everyone loves getting rewards, and the responsibility for the working group is to also to make sure that those rewards are being converted into TEC tokens that end up in your wallet finally. So the TEC reward system consists of 2 main components, which is the praise system, which we have practiced today for the contributions that cannot be automatically quantified, and then we have source cred for stuff that can be more counted automatically by bots and machines. And the workgroup mission of the the reward system workgroup is simple. It's to implement this reward system. It is to design it first and then to implement it, to maintain it and to improve it over time. So those 4 small words, they contain quite a lot of actual work over time. What is happening right now in the work group is that we are in a build-up phase where we are actively. We have just Livy has just written the manifesto for the working group. We have begun preparing, or Mitch has begun preparing for the first quantification that will take place in and around the Commons upgrade or slightly after. We are doing the work needed to make source cred a better option, working better for us. So we are, the YYV is developing a meeting tracker bot that will track all the meetings here on Discord automatically and feed them into source cred. And we are implementing the OneHive pollen bot that will simplify the administration of our user identities on source cred, because that is quite a hassle of connecting your Ethereum address, your GitHub address, etc., etc. We are building a new praise system from scratch, because the old praise system was built on connected with chewing gum and gaff tape. So now we are building a real system with a real backend and with the real dashboard and administrative interface. And we are building a sort of an analysis and distribution dashboard that ties all the data together, calculates the final distribution for each a round of quantifications and each round of rewards, helps us to visualize and analyze all this data, and help us to prevent us ending up in another Praise-Mageddon, basically. And that's it. Maybe that is the short status for about the rewards working group. If you would like more, there are recordings out on YouTube, or please join us next Wednesday.
Can I just add? The demo was so cool. If you look at our last meeting on December 1st, there's a demo of what they built for how to dashboard the dashboard for seeing your praise and for quantifying, and it's freaking cool. So go check it out on YouTube.
Nice. I'm